We are talking about gems today, and those gems are at the tight end position. So many people ask me, Joe, who do I draft later as a tight end? I don't want to spend an early tight end pick on a Darren Waller who's sharing a situation there with Devontae Adams now and Renfro. Why do I got to spend a top, second round pick on a guy like that? So we are talking gems here today. I've got 5 tight end gems that you can get mid to late rounds. They're going to be solid and secure for your roster. Speaking of gems, I'm going to change your life for the better, guys. Head over to manscaped.com, protect your gems, shave your gems. Everything you need to do to protect those balls. Gems. Okay, guys? Try the Boxers 2.0. Use code SHOWERLINE20. It's going to give you an extra 20% discount on your purchase at checkout. Now, typically, if you go to manscaped.com, there's a ton of great discounts. This gives you an additional 20% on anything on the site. I've got their deodorant. I've got their body wash. Got their shampoo. Got their underwear. These are changing my life because they're super comfortable, guys. Boxers 2.0, try them. Let me know, DM me, say I got the Boxers, they're super comfortable. Try the trimmer, guys, Lawnmower 4.0. Everything on the site, guys. Love their product. Use code SHOWERLINE20 on their site. It'll change your life. All right, guys, let's get to the 5 tight end gems right now. Let's get to it. Welcome to the show, guys. Let's get to the tight end gems. Before we do, get the 16-round draft solution. As you can see, I am representing the shirt in style and fashion because I'm confident in the 16-round draft solution. We are in full force draft season. If you're drafting without 16 rounds, I was just in a live right now on Instagram before I recorded the show. If you're drafting without 60 rounds, it's literally like driving a bicycle with one tire. That's a unicycle. We're talking actual mountain bike with one tire and there's no back end tire. That was my analogy. There's way better scenarios to explain what it's like drafting without 16 rounds. So make sure you guys get it. Use code TUBE20, guys. Some people say 2020 is the code. No, TUBE. That's TUBE. 20 is the code. Save yourself 20%, guys. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players to draft in each round. This is the game changer, guys. This is the absolute game changer. Get the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below here on YouTube, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Just Google 16-round draft solution. It comes up. Use code TUBE20. It is life-changing, like Manscaped, right? Get the Boxers as well. Use code SHOWERLINE20. All right, let's dive into these 5 tight ends here. I'm super excited to dive into tight ends. And with tight ends, I always wait. Now, here's the secret, guys. And I explain this in the 16-round draft solution. If you haven't got it, get it. TUBE20. Always get 2 tight ends if you're waiting and stack them. I like to, as a rule of thumb, get 10 points out of my tight ends. Okay, we're talking fantasy football draft strategy here, guys. I want you to win, so I'm giving you every possible tool to win your leagues, okay? And people keep asking about the tight end episode. With tight ends, guys, I literally like to wait. So let's go to the first tight end. I'll explain why I like this tight end, and then you guys can make an executive decision on your tight ends, okay? I just don't like to spend early draft capital on a tight end, okay? Now, there is Andrews, who I think will have a good year because the Ravens don't have any wide receivers. And I think, Kittle, I think he has a potential big upside year. We don't know who the quarterback's going to gravitate to. Trey Lance, we're not sure, right? Maybe Deebo Samuel, who's been recently incentivized and paid, maybe it's him. We're not exactly sure. So, Kittle could be a value, but again, you're spending a high draft capital. Pitts, I like Pitts this year. They don't have a wide receiver other than Drake London, who I absolutely love as well. So a lot of question marks, right? So if you have any question marks, why not spend a later draft pick and get those question marks? You know what I'm saying? So the first one here that's a gem at tight end, I got him in a big money league, Robert Tunian. I know he's on PUP at the time of this recording. He's on the PUP list, but he's going to be back. He's well removed off that knee injury. He's going to be good. Now, what I look at with Robert Tunian is a couple things that really attract me to him, right? The first thing is I look at his 2020 year, right? That was his 3rd year into the season. I look at that. He's going into his 5th season. So he's a pretty decent veteran, right? He had 586 yards, 11 touchdowns that year, 52 receptions on 59 targets. Now, again, let me repeat that. 52 receptions on 59 targets for 586 yards and 11 touchdowns. He's catching pretty much everything that's coming his way. That's number 1. Number 2, last year, he had a pretty decent, at 8 games, he was starting to get some targets, 29 targets, 18 receptions, 2 touchdowns. He was starting to build up. I know it's not much, 204 receiving yards. It wasn't much, but he got hurt, right? And the thing about it is, obviously, with Adams gone, there's a void there, right? We had 169 targets freed up. 169 guys, targets freed up. They could go to Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Watkins, Lazard, all that stuff, right? Aaron Jones. There's other guys to fill that role, but Tunian is that reliable receiver. Doubs, Watson, I can make a case for them. Watson, one of the best, physically gifted receivers out of this draft, and probably the best physically gifted receiver on the Packers. So I can make a case for Watson, but you got to understand, Tunian's got that rapport. So I don't mind, stacking Christian Watson or a Doubs or someone like that with a Robert Tunian. I mean, you're solid. You got a piece of that Green Bay Packers pie, and you're paying literally nothing to get him. Now, Robert Tunian is currently sitting 18th on the consensus rankings. He's going to come back. He's going to come back healthy. And again, he's that reliable target where there's so many new faces, right? New faces for Aaron Rodgers. He's got that reliable target, which he loved in the red zone back in 2020, and with 11 touchdowns. He's a gem. I like him. He's value. He's sitting 18th again on the consensus. You get this guy super late, 10th round and beyond. Amazing. All right, that's the first one. Number 2. This guy is David Najoku. Listen, I'm not a huge, crazy fan on David Najoku because, again, I look at him statistically over the past couple years. He is entering now his 6th season. I mean, he had 4 games in 2019, 13 games in 2020. He played 16 games last year, had a mediocre 475 yards, 4 touchdowns, 53 targets for 36 receptions. Not that exciting, but enter a new, an entirely new situation where Watson could potentially, miss 6 games, maybe more now because they may appeal the suspension. At the time of this recording, Watson is missing 6 games. They've got Jacoby there. I think he'll feed Najoku. But here's the deal, a couple things. He signed a 4-year, $54.75 million deal. Najoku did, okay? He got paid, he got incentivized. I think $28 million plus is guaranteed. And they're going to rely on him. He's theoretically the second wide receiver target there. Like, he's a tight end, but he's like a wide receiver. Like, he's going to be a secondary target behind Cooper, right? They've got Peoples-Jones there. They don't really have any, real good targets, okay? So Najoku is in a position where he can be, and I've been watching some tapes, I've been listening to some film, and some coaches talking, some offensive coordinator. They're saying that he has to be relied on as that second target because he got paid so high, and he's a veteran, right? He's going into his 6th season. So again, he's kind of that boomer bust risk kind of guy, but you stack him with like a Tunian or someone like that, now you've got yourself a potential high ceiling tight end. You're paying nothing to get him, all right? Good value. Number 3 here, guys. Statistically, this guy didn't excite me last year. The guy I'm talking about here is Cole Comet. Cole Comet. Now, last year, I wasn't wowed. He's going into his 3rd season, 60 receptions, 93 targets, 612 yards. 612 yards, not bad. That's a big upgrade compared to the year of his rookie year. He had 243 receiving yards. 612, not bad. What kind of concerns me is he had 0 touchdowns. Now, it was a bit of a disaster. Dalton, who was it? Dalton last year at quarterback. Then Fields got integrated. He only started, played like 12 games, something like that. Fields is now coming in to a situation where Cole Komet is going to be the guy at tight end. They've got Vila. Who do they have? Pringle, Vilas, whatever, Vilas, Jones, like guys that aren't even fantasy relevant that are on the depth chart at wide receiver. Someone's going to catch the ball. Somebody's got to catch the ball. Who is it? It's got to be Cole Komet. They got Mooney. They got David Montgomery. Someone's got to catch the ball. Cole Komet is in line to be a receiver. Someone's got to do something. I think he's going to be a reliable target and outlet for Justin Fields, who's finally getting integrated into that offense. Cole Komet could be a gem at tight end, sitting 11th on the Kinshipsis rankings right now. And again, going back to David Najoku, sitting 21st. So all these guys are pretty relatively good value. Komet the highest on ADP based out of all those guys, okay? 2 more here for you. Love these guys. Tons of upside. Tons of value in this episode. If you guys are seeing the value, if this is making sense to you, which it should be, because I'm talking logic, I'm talking common sense, aiming high in the depth chart, get the 16-round draft solution because it's as close to a bulletproof roster as you'll get. Get 16 rounds. I'm super confident you will win your league, guys. 16-round draft solution. Use code TUBE20. I've linked it below. Go get it. And while you're at it, go treat yourself, guys. Manscaped.com. Get the boxers. Try them. DM me. Let me know how they go. Start a Patreon group. Join that. It's an amazing community. It's a lifestyle. Patreon.com/FF Counselor. Join. You guys are going to be so happy. I promise you. I'm putting everything on the line. If fantasy is your passion, get what I'm offering. Because I'm telling you guys, I live and breathe this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. I want you guys to win. Tight end number 4. Guy I'm talking about is Cameron Breit. Now, here's the deal with Cameron Breit, okay? There's a situation going on. There's a situation brewing in Tampa Bay. I think the fix is in. I think Brady's going to get himself another Super Bowl. It is what it is, whether you believe the conspiracy or not. I believe it. I think that it is set to make him win. Super Bowl team, right? They got Julio now. They're stacked. Breit last year, okay, when you look at Breit last year, not the most impressive numbers because they had other weapons. They have Gronk there. 4 touchdowns, 245 yards, 17 games, started 3. He's always banged up. He's got issues, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. He's got some injury issues. I mean, he's older. He's in his 8th season. They brought in Cade Auden, rookie, and they brought in Rudolph. So it's a bit of a disaster. But Breit has that rapport, has that veteran experience. Again, going into his 8th season, okay? Brady trusts him. I think with Gronk being gone, there's a void there. Someone's got to fill it. Rudolph's a veteran guy. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's the rookie Cade Auden. Brady likes his tight ends. As of right now, Cameron Breit is the number 1 tight end on the depth chart, sitting 34th on the consensus rankings. Okay? So there's question marks, obviously, right? The injuries in the past, the uncertainty, is he older? What's going on? I mean, the guy is only, 31 now. It's not a huge deal. But again, some question marks, but he's got Brady throwing the ball who likes tight ends, and Gronk is gone. There's an opportunity there, okay? Could be a gem. Polish that gem and start him, potentially, right? Okay, and the last guy here, number 5, I'm intrigued by this one. I think it could be a solid gem, and I'm just super, super intrigued. The guy is Breven Jordan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Going into his 2nd season, guy, 6'3", 245 pounds, 5th round pick last year out of Miami, playing on the Texans. Why do I like him? I've got this weird, man crush lately on Davis Mills. I'm in a league right now where it's an experts league where I ended up getting him as my quarterback too because I went robust RB in a super flex league and I loaded up and hoarded all of the running backs that include Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Joe Mixon, Javonte to name a few. And then I was left with no quarterback, so I ended up getting a 1 quarterback as my starter, and then I ended up going Davis Mills as my 2nd quarterback, and then started really diving into his stats. He was actually one of, if not the most efficient quarterback last year passing. I think it could be good, really great. And he went into the NFL a little early. He would have been the top quarterback picked off the board this year if he had waited an extra year here in 2020, but he was a 3rd round pick in 2021. I like Davis Mills, and he's got no targets other than really Cooks, Nico Collins, John Michie. Obviously, with the cancer, very sad, very unfortunate. He's not going to be playing this year. So in comes Breven Jordan last year, who's got some rapport with him last year. 178 yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 targets, 20 receptions. But Mills wasn't really getting going until mid to late season. He started getting into his groove, right? So Breven Jordan could be a solid target, red zone target specifically for Davis Mills this year. Look out, guys. This guy is a gem, okay? Draft him as a backup tight end to your first one for amazing value. Seeing 26 guys right now amongst tight ends. You get him for free. He might even go undrafted. He probably will go undrafted because nobody knows who he is. But could be a sneaky sleeper at the tight end position for you guys, Breven Jordan. There you have it, guys. In the comments below, let me know who you think is a gem at the tight end position, who's not your big name like Kyle Pitts or someone like that, or Travis Kelce. Give me a gem mid to late round. Love to get your feedback. And of course, subscribe, get the 16-round draft solution. Join the Patreon group at patreon.com/FFC and go to manscaped.com. Use code SHOWERLINE20. Save yourself on some amazing products. I appreciate you guys. Fantasy's around the corner. I'm excited. We'll talk soon.